Imagine a world without snow. Well, in about 25 years, that's what the world is coming to. Snow was a big part of my life, and I bet it was for many others too. I spent almost half my life in the mountains skiing, and due to our contribution to global warming, the future generation won't be able to experience things I did as a kid. Hi, my name is Emma, and for my quest, I am making bamboo ski poles. Growing up, I've always been passionate about skiing and loved the snow. I can't imagine how many people haven't had the chance to experience things I did. Many people haven't even seen snow before, and it's so devastating to think about how many won't be able to due to global warming. This has inspired me to make ski poles. My quest is about aluminum, bamboo, skiing, and climate change. Alpine skiing first started in the 1700s. It evolved from the military, and by the 1800s, skiing became more and more popular. As the ski industry started to grow, ski equipment became in higher demand. Nowadays, skiing is very popular. Over 370 million people go skiing worldwide each year. This means that millions and millions of ski poles are produced each year. This puts aluminum in high demand. Aluminum is everywhere. Aluminum is used for many of our everyday items, and it's almost 100% recyclable. There are some positives to aluminum, while on the other hand, there are many negative impacts aluminum has on the environment and on people. To get aluminum, you need to mine bauxite. Have you ever heard of bauxite? I hadn't until my quest. Even though aluminum is the third most abundant element in the Earth's crust, aluminum is never in its pure state in nature, which means to create aluminum, bauxite ore goes through a refining process first. 345 million tons of bauxite is mined each year. That's a lot of land destroyed and a lot of energy used. Making aluminum requires many resources, lots of energy, and it destroys a ton of land. These photos show how the natural beauty and the land on the surface have been destroyed by bauxite mines. This photo on the left is untouched land, and this photo on the right is after the topsoil is stripped. This is a bauxite mine in West Asia. It's scary, right? Imagine this happened in your hometown, next to your house. Imagine you had a beautiful forest right outside your window and it got destroyed. Well, in Guinea, more than 100 families had to be relocated due to a bauxite mine. What we just talked about was bauxite. However, bauxite residue is different. This is a bauxite residue storage leak. In Hungary in 2010, 10 people were killed and more than 100 had chemical burns. The residue found its way into local waterways and killed many animals. Buildings were completely destroyed, and the MAL, Hungary Aluminum Company, was fined $647 million. Another incident happened like this in Brazil, leaving 5,000 people homeless. This has also happened in China, Australia, Jamaica, Greece, Guinea, and India. Right here in Indonesia, bauxite is being mined. Indonesia is the 5th largest bauxite producer in the world. Now, as the ski industry started to grow and still is growing, aluminum is put in higher demand, which means more bauxite mining and more land destroyed. But this isn't only about ski poles. This is about everything with aluminum. Everything with aluminum contributes to this damage. Everything you have used with aluminum contributes to this damage. And now it's your time to change that. These things are examples of the damage that just a little aluminum can cause, and got me thinking, how can I make an impact in my own way while still connecting to one of my passions? Growing up, I found that Chamonix was like my second home. I would go there almost every summer and winter. I would spend my winters skiing and playing in the snow. Recently, I've noticed that the snowfall patterns have been changing, and I wanted to find out what was causing this. And of course, it was global warming. I found that aluminum is one of the causes for global warming, and it also happened to be the same material that ski poles were made out of. Of course, aluminum isn't the only contribution to global warming, but since ski poles are made from aluminum, I decided to focus on that. Aluminum contributes to global warming, and global warming is why the snowfall patterns are changing. So in other words, I guess you could say that skiing is why there is no more skiing. I also decided to focus on aluminum because a lot of people don't actually know about the damage that aluminum causes. Aluminum destroys a ton of land, and I wanted to share my knowledge about this. I needed to do something about this, but I wanted to relate to my passion. At first I was thinking of making sustainable skis, but I needed to start small. So that's when I came up with making bamboo ski poles. I thought that it would be perfect because bamboo happened to grow exactly where I live and go to school. I wanted to combine my life in Bali to my life in France. At first I thought, how hard could this be? But I was so wrong. I needed to do research. I needed to find out if bamboo would even work. I did research and found how bamboo is actually better than aluminum, both sustainably and functionally. I found that bamboo is stronger than aluminum. Bamboo is more flexible and durable. Since bamboo is a renewable resource and just a 5-minute walk away from my doorstep, I knew it was perfect. Now moving on to my actual product, here's some struggles I had during my quest. First, deciding what materials to use was difficult, then I had to find where to get the materials, and then I had to actually make my product. My challenge was to make the whole ski pole 100% natural. Even though I'm only focusing on aluminum, plastic and rubber, the materials used to make the handles and the baskets of the ski pole, are also not 100% recyclable. I decided to use, first I wanted to make my handles out of recycled melted plastic that I would later put into a mold. I then found out that some other companies had already done that. Since there were already some bamboo ski poles in the market, I wanted mine to stand out. I decided to use bioresin. I thought that this would be challenging since I had never worked with bioresin before. Due to my lack of experience, I chose to join Pac Ollie's bioresin course. I think that this was a good idea since I learned a lot during those classes. Though I really struggled making the mold for the bioresin, Pakazar helped me in the iHub and he created a 3D model that I could later use for the mold. We had to try multiple times because first the model was too small, then once we resized it, it would break while 3D printing because it was too big. At one point, I even ordered the wrong type of silicone for the mold. I tried to work with it, but I don't think it turned out so well. In the end, I actually did not use the 3D model, I used the mold I made myself. I thought that since this was only the second prototype, I could perfect it later. I made my baskets out of banana fiber paper and bioresin. I thought that I wouldn't be able to finish this project in time, but thanks to Pac Ollie and my mom, they helped me make this happen. Another struggle I faced was time management. I didn't manage my time very well and ended up rushing everything at the end. I was very stressed and nervous, and 2 weeks before we had to present our quest, I found that I didn't like my speech, so I decided to rewrite it and edit it. I also had no idea how I would memorize everything, but in the end, I think it turned out fine. During my quest, I had a lot of people ask me, why am I making ski poles when I live in Bali? Well, I can see how it can be a bit confusing, but they also function as walking sticks. And skiing was my passion. Therefore, I made ski poles. In the future, I think that this idea could eventually grow to be something bigger. My goal is to make people aware about aluminum production. I want to be able to ski with my own bamboo ski poles, and that in 50 years' time, there will still be snow for people to ski. I want people to think twice before buying aluminum and to think about what else they could use instead. Maybe in the future, I could pitch my idea to the local ski shop and promote the bamboo transition. Try and fail, but don't fail to try. When I first started my quest, I was scared that my quest would be too difficult, but I decided to try anyways. Even though some things didn't turn out in the end, I think that it was a good learning experience. I would like to thank my teachers and mentors for helping me on my quest. I would like to thank Pakazar and Pac Ollie. I would like to thank my family and my friends, and I would like to thank you all for listening to my quest.